Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channels. So as of now in our tutorials we have developed this router and these two component. So we have developed this nav link, we can say, we can say these are the header we already developed. In next video we are going to implement this add a student page. So inside the add a student page we want one ID field, input field, one name input field, one email input field, one phone number input field, and those data we will take and we will try to send on the server. So try to send our server. Through this we want one API. So API will those things we'll do in the next video, but right now we have to understood like how to develop this form, how to take this data, and those data how we can send to the server. So as of now we are going to cover in this video. So let's start now. Okay, so let's start now. So first of all we need to go this page. So this is the add a student component. So go to the add a student component. Okay, so go to the create a student having a add a student component, remove this. Okay, remove this, and now you want one div for containers. So we can take just container class equal to container. Okay, and call md is 6 middle. So we can set in your proper center through this. Okay, now we want some form. Definitely we want form, so we have to take one form tag. So this is the form tag we can take, and inside the form we can take class. This one is the one of the containers, contai containers. Okay, that's it. Now you want input field. Okay, so before form we have to display one message, and this one is the header. So I will take h3 and I will take h3, and here I will write student register, add a student, student student form. Add a student form, not from. That's it. A registered student we can say. If you want to give some color, you can give some color also. So class color color red, color color red. So directly you can give the color also. Maybe it's work or not, I don't know. Okay, go to this page and you can see he's showing the add students, but he's not showing like okay, this is the colorful or not. So this is not a colorful, so we have to add some good property. So text color, text color red. Maybe this property is available, so this one is also not available. Okay, no problem, so we'll take letters. Yeah, otherwise we have a lots of the things. You can go with style. Here you can take color, red, so directly you can do like that also. Okay, and if you go to the browsers, you can see it's reflect. Oh my god, I'm not doing reflects, that's why. Okay, so add a students. Here I want to write one form. So I don't know the what is the form, so I blindly go to the Bootstrap page, and it's a our one of the unique way to do the work. And here you can search form control or input form. So you can see form control. Go inside the form controls, and here you can see some input field. So this is the one of the input field. It's look good. I don't want this one, so I will take this first one only. Okay, take this, come back in your application, and once you come back in your application, here you can put how much you want. Okay, so for examples, I want this one only. So for example, label this one, form label. Okay, fine. I want here a student as ID, a student ID. Okay, so I will take here a student ID, and input field, so I don't want that much. Okay, I don't want placeholder. I will remove this placeholder. Save this. Okay, so like that I want some data. So this is the student ID. Next I want a student name. Next I want a student email. Next I want a student phone number. Okay, okay, good. So next I want a student phone number. So copy this and go to next line, paste this. So student ID is done. Student name, student email ID, student email, and next I want student phone number. Phone number, so it's also better. And go to the browser and see the reflection. So you can see here, if you refresh your page, here you have to give the student ID, this one, student name, student email, student phone number, this data. After that I want one buttons. Once if you click on the buttons, those data will collected and go to the service layer, and through the service layer we can send to the API. So this data input field we made. Now we want one button, so go to this place, and here you just write button is developed. Here you can say register student, and inside the button you can say class. Before that you can say type. So type is nothing but submit type, and class is, so I through the class I will make something better, like btn, change the primary color, it's look good, so I prefer every time this one. So this is the form we have developed. Okay, input field form. Once you click this, it's going to data the service layers. Okay, now we are not taking any data here, we are just develop this form blindly. Okay, Now you have to do the work on this, and you have to understood how we can fetch data from this input field. This is the biggest things. Only develop the form is not a big thing. So anyone can develop, but collect the data from the forms and store in one object, that is the biggest task. So right now I have just so many parameters: student ID, student name, student email, student phone number, so those things. So I have a 4 variables. So I have to take one class. So I will take one class like ng. I will develop one component of class ng global class, and class name is like a student. So a student is the one of the class I will take. Okay, so this when I fire this command ngg class student, so it's develop two component, okay, two files, and inside the files we can declare our variables like sid, sname, phone number, email, I mean student email, those things, and we can store on those data, and we can send those data to the API. So those things we are going to develop here. Let's see what happened. Yeah, it's developed. We can see here create a student f.ts. So go down, and here you can see he developed for us a student.ts. So go student.ts inside this, and in this place you have to declare your variables. So how you can declare? For examples, you want sid. So sid is type of sid is anything, maybe student id is a string. So I will take a string only, all those data. So I will take a string and semicolon. Okay, I want s name, so I will prefer camel notation. So s name, so I will take a string semicolon. So like that, I want s email colon, don't forget to write different way, s email, s phone number. So s phone colon equal to string. So we have created some variables, we can see here, and those are the technique to create a variable. So this is not a define, so that's why I make it exclamatory marks. Okay, so like that we can create a variables in class. Those are not initialized right now. Okay, fine, our class is ready. Now I have to go create a student component where we have developed this, our page, input field page. Now from input field page, make sure that you don't want to go anywhere. Create a student inside, you have to maintain all the input field in .html file, and if you go to this place, create a student.component, here you can create your object, because I want to store one object and send to the API. So for this I will create one student. So a student is a student type stu, a student is a student type equal to new student. So I will create one object of a student. Okay, done. Student's object I created inside the create student component in TS file. Okay, don't create anywhere, otherwise you can confuse. Okay, you have to create in this place only, inside the create a student. What page you have maintained, those alternate page is this one, dynamically store the data. Okay, so go to this page and create here only, don't create anywhere. Okay, so we have created one a student. Now go to your HTML page here. Okay, and minimize this. Okay, so this is the HTML page, and this is the form. Okay, so inside the form you have to write one method is called ng submit ng submit equal to you have to give those method which are going to call and send data, this input field data to that place. So I will save like add a student data. So this is the method I prefer. Okay, ng submit add a student data, and whatever data you want you can set from this place. So id is sid. So go to the student class and see you given S capital ID. So like that you have to maintain. Okay, so go to the input field. So S capital ID, SID, and name also same, S capital ID, and here you have to store the data. So for store the data we want one module, and this is nothing but we can say ng model. Inside the ng models we have to store the data, and data is nothing but a student, not capital, a small, a student dot S capital ID, student ID. So like that you have to do for all the input field. Okay, so take this and do for all the field, and here just change the SID to S name. So S name, and here also S name, that's it. Go to this place also and put your data. Go to this place also, put your data. Here you can say S email, because this one is the email. So S email, like you can see here, given S email. So give those data so that you can able to see the data also. So S name, S email, S phone. Copy this, put inside the name also, put inside this place also. Okay guys, I hope you understood. And once you click on the submit button, like register a student, this method is called add a student, and those data is going to store inside this component add a student component. Okay, add a student component. So this is the method, and here you can take all the data. So he pass all those data here, and you can initialize this data. Okay, so how data will come here? If you want to check, like if I simply here I write console.log, console.log, and I will pass here this dot student. That's it. Okay, and go to your application. Fail to compile, something error is happened. What is the problem? Input field. Okay, form module is not there, so we want form module also. Okay, so for this we want one form module, and form module is you are unable to see here. Okay, so import the form modules. This is the page. So go to the app.component.ts, app.component.ts, this one, app.model.ts, and here you have to import one form modules, form modules. Once you import these form modules, your app will be work, and you can see here Prince Kumar, and student email I will fill pk@gmail.com, and student phone number I will fill 741552049, and go to the incognito, just this mode, and go to the console. Okay, clear your console. You are unable to clear also. So fill all the data and try to submit this. Okay, so once you submit it, we are not getting any data inside the console. So this is the problems, and these problems we can resolve like here we have to put this ng submit inside the one bracket, and then after this data is goes to this create app module.ts files, and here you can display in the console. Okay, just save this and go to the again browsers. Okay, go to the students page, and again fill the data and submit this. You can see your all the data whatever you given this, it's displaying in the console. Now we are trying to send this data to the API. So for this we want one HTTP client. Okay, so let's move further. So we know our data is coming here, and we understood our data is stored in this student reference. Okay, now we have to create one service, and through the service we have to send those data on the server, yani ki API. Okay, so let's take second terminals, and here we have to create one service. So ng generate service is for service, and you can give the name of the service. So you can say student hyphen service. Okay, so this is the name of service, student service. It's created some files for you, so through this file you can do the work on that. Okay, so in this file I am going to create one methods, and those methods I am going to call inside this create.student.components, and we will send the data to the API. Okay, so you can see here it's created two file for us, and the name of this file is student service. Okay, student service. Okay, fine. So go down, you can see here a student service. So you have to go in this student service.ts file. Inside this, what we want? We want API base URL. API base URL. So take the base URL, base URL. So maybe HTTP, like HTTP colon / localhost comma 8081, anything port number she given to us, and one more thing she given like a student. Okay, so this is the our API base URL, and once you configure the base URL, you create one methods, and method is called like add a student, and inside the add students create these methods, and here you can observe this like dot observable. So before going to do anything, you need to understood here we want one HTTP client. So HTTP clients you want here. So for this you have to import HTTP client modules in app.module.ts file. So go to this place, you already doing this form modules. So now take HTTP client client module. It's not given, no problem. So do one thing, if it is not given, give like HTTP, so @angular /command /HTTP. So inside this package is available. So make sure or don't forget this also, otherwise you can face how much I face the problems like that. So HTTP client module, it's imported. So once it is imported, go to the service, student service, and here you can import your service. So what is the service like that? So for examples, I want so take private HTTP client, so make it HTTP client. Okay, so HTTP client having lots of methods. Okay, so here someone is passing a student data, so student student. We want to insert this data in database, so this one is a student type, student student side. So take this student also, and once it is done, your base URL is also done, and your base URL is done, your HTTP client is done. Now HTTP client having some method to call our what? Through this you can call your observable. So obscr dot observable. So we want observable also, so just forget right now and try to do like that. So return HTTP client having some method, so make it this dot HTTP client dot we want post method because you want to send a student data to the server, so post. And here you can take these symbols, and inside these symbols we have to take this data. So data is nothing but you have to take base URL. So this dot base URL, so make it here dollar this dot base URL. And once it is done, okay, expected 2-3 arguments but not okay, so no problems, comma student, send the student data. And once you send this data, whatever data he send you, you can subscribe those data and store in the database. Okay, so this is the post method. Through this is the post method. It's so same post method is available in your API, and this is the base URL in the sense whatever you given here. So this is the API base URL endpoint, and you can pass your student. This is the object whatever you got from this method. So these methods I am going to call through our create service component. So go to the create service component here without doing the log. Okay, do one thing, call these methods. Which one method? So first you have to create this reference for this, so call like a private and a student service. So student student service colon student service. Okay, so this is the service we created. Through the help of this service we can send data to the service layer. So here you can write what we can write here, add a student inside this, or maybe you can call here also, no problem. So I will call here, so it's maybe fine. So here you can call add a student data. So you can call like this dot student service dot add a student is the methods, and here you can pass this dot student object. And once you pass this dot subscribe whatever data you got, make it data you got. Based on that data, print here alert, and inside the alert you can print student data, insert successfully, otherwise you can say here error, one error message, and you can say one more alert, and through this alert you can display insertion fail, sorry, unable to insert student data. Okay, so through this you can do. So this is not a big issue. This is the ending method, not this is the class ending. So this is the method end. Okay, fine. So here he created data. Okay, update this and close this. If it is error alert, unable to do this, so remove this one also. Okay, so if you see it's working or not. Okay, so go to the service class here, and we expect like here data is coming. So here you can display console. So console.log. If data is here inside this, it means data is going on good. So here you can display a student. Okay, and right now we are not mention any observable. Here you can mention also dot observable. It's not showing right now. Okay, no problem, take it by default. Go to this place, add a students, add some data. First go to the inspect mode and fill some data. Once you filled, try to register. You are able to see data. It means this data is going to the, and also you are saying that sorry, unable to insert a student data because API is not developed right now, so we are unable to insert this data. Okay, I hope guys you understood, and I hope you enjoy this video. In next video we are going to develop one API, and this is the base URL for the API, and through this we are going to send this data, call this through this we can call to the API, and API will give you API is able to take this data, student data, and insert in database. Thank you so much for watching my video. As of now, next video we will meet soon. Thank you so much. Bye. Any doubt you can ping me.